This is the part of the program where we put your COVID-19 questions directly to the medical experts. But tonight, those questions are coming from kids. Now, here to answer those questions, we have Dr. Isaac Bogosh, an infectious diseases specialist, and pediatrician Dr. Dina Kulik. So, here we go. First question. This is for you, Dr. Kulik, and it's from Parker.
My question about the virus is, how long does it stay in your body, and what does it do to your body?
Go for it.
That's an excellent question. So COVID probably lives in your body for about 2 weeks. Some studies show even up to 3 or 4 weeks, but most of us are thinking about 14 days. And what happens is when the virus enters your body, typically that's from your eyes or your nose or your mouth, from you touching a surface that had COVID on it. And once it goes into your body, it starts to make different versions of itself. So it starts to replicate, making more and more and more COVID copies. And that's why people start to get symptoms, because they have more of these copies in their nose and in their throat and sometimes going down into their chest. And that will cause the cough and runny nose and fever that some people get with COVID.
And when does it, or how does it leave the body eventually?
Well, eventually your body's immune system will start to fight that virus like it does any virus like influenza or others. Your body will start to recognize it as being foreign and start to attack it. And when it attacks it, that's when you start to get better and less contagious.
All right. Dr. Bogosh, this next question is for you, and it's from Olivia.
I was wondering, what does it feel like to have the virus?
Oh, Olivia, that's a good question. We know that many people that have this virus are going to feel pretty crummy for a few days. They might have a fever. They might have a cough. They might feel pretty run down and have to stay at home and stay on the couch or stay in bed for a few days. But luckily, most people that get this infection will start to feel better after a few days, and most people won't even need to go to the hospital for care. So most people will do just fine, and they'll get better on their own after a few days at home. Okay. Dr. Bogosh, we've got another one for you. This is from Sequoia.
When will they find a cure for COVID-19?
Oh, Sequoia, that's also a great question. So, there's lots of doctors and scientists working on finding a cure. There's studies that are going on right now, and they're testing lots of new drugs. So hopefully we're going to have some answers in the next 2 to 3 months about new drugs that can be used to treat this. And then just like people get vaccines once a year for the flu, they're working on getting a vaccine for COVID-19. And that's probably about a year to a year and a half away still. So the treatments we'll know a bit more about in the next 2 to 3 months, but a vaccine probably close to a year or a year and a half.
Yeah, does any medicine help?
So certainly right now we know that there isn't any specific medicine that we can use that will help fight this infection. But there's lots of different drugs that we're trying to see if they'll work, and we'll have an answer pretty soon. Okay. Dr. Kulik, this next question is from Quentin.
My question is, my mom is not sick, my dad's not sick, and my brother's not sick. Why do we have to stay home?
It's an excellent question. The reason is 2 things. One, we want to make sure that you and your family stay healthy. And if you're out in the world and going to school, or your parents are going to work, or you're going to the playground, you might get infection. And that means you might bring it home to your family, and people may get sick. But also, you could actually have the infection, or someone in your family could, and you may not know it. Because lots of people that have COVID have no symptoms or very mild symptoms. So by you staying home, you're protecting yourself from getting it from other people, and you're protecting other people from getting it from you, even if you're not sick.
Right. Best to be careful. Dr. Bogosh, this is Alexandra.
My question is, can you catch COVID-19 multiple times?
Alexandra, that's a fantastic question. And, the short answer is we're not 100% sure just yet, but most people who are in science and medicine and public health think that once you get this infection and you recover from it, you're not going to be able to get it again, at least for the next few months to probably a year. So once you get it and recover, you're very likely to be okay and not going to get it again. Okay, we've got a little bit of time left. Dr. Kulik, this is Ella.
I would like to know, how can I help other people from not getting COVID-19?
Fantastic question. So the way we prevent the infection is 2 things. One is maintaining physical or social distance. So that's why you guys are not in school, and that's why many of us are not working, and we're not going to the playground or grocery stores and trying to stay away. if you stay at least 2 meters away from other people, you're less likely to get it from them. But then the other piece is to maintain really, really clean hands. So you want to be washing for at least 20 to 30 seconds with soap and water multiple times per day. Because the most common reason why we get COVID is by touching other surfaces that have the virus on it, and then touching our eyes or our nose or our mouths, and then the virus can enter our body. So keeping good, clean hands and staying away from other people.
Okay, Dr. Kulik, Dr. Bogosh, and all the kids who sent in questions, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Hey everybody! Welcome to Storytime with Shane Onyou. Today we are wearing the tiger outfit. What do you think? I'll show you the hood, show you all of it. Ooh. And the beard. Made the beard myself. And the stash, of course. Tiger Day for everybody. How's everybody doing on this fine Saturday? Good to see you all out. We got some fine books for you today in story time. On this fine Saturday for you. Yes. Let's see if we can't turn this on. There we go. That's a little better. There we go. Much better. Alright, Storytime with Shane Onyou. Let's hop right into our first book. Actually, we're going to start with a little education today. For those of you who are paying attention, we are going to start with Little Kid's First Big Book of Where by Jill Esbaum. And we're just going to look at some interesting facts here. So what I decided we'll start with today is a little interesting fact about where were the first books made? So we're going to start off with where were the first books made. So, ancient Egyptians were the first to write their words on paper-like material for people to read, called the papyrus. This was a thick material made from the papyrus plant. So over here, you can see the papyrus, and that's paper made from the papyrus plant. So that's what they first wrote on. About 2,000 years ago, the Chinese invented a light, thin paper. They bound the pages together into books. But those early Chinese books were all written by hand. The first books that look like the ones we know today were made in Korea on a machine called a printing press. It worked by pressing sheets of paper against tiny blocks with raised characters. These blocks, called movable type, had ink on them. Now books no longer had to be copied by hand, so they could actually do it a little faster. Can you figure out where this book was printed? Look on the last page. So we'll look on the last page when we're done looking at this picture to see where this book was printed. So today's books are printed all over the world using computer technology. So we've come a long way from starting with the papyrus, which we can see up here, going to, you can see the printing press in the background here. And here they are handwriting. So we've come a long, long way from where we started with books. So let's see if we can figure out where this book was printed. This book was printed, wow, there's a lot of information back here. Hong Kong. So this book, this little kid's first big book of Where, was printed in Hong Kong. Excellent. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's move on to our first book. Now that we know where books started and how they started out on papyrus and then moved to the printing press, I can't believe that before the printing press, they wrote everything out by hand. Can you imagine writing all those copies out by hand? That'd be absolutely crazy. All right, let's get into our first book. So our first book for today is absolutely, we've had to start over. We finished all the books that I have on stock right now, other than my special books for tomorrow's Easter. We've gone through everything that I have, other than my teen books too. So we're starting over. So today we're going to go back because it is so important with this coronavirus out there that this book just seems to apply. So what this book is called is The Personal Space Invader by Harrison P. Spader. Ooh, no, let me try that again. Harrison P. Spader, Personal Space Invader. That's the title. I messed up. Words by Christianne Jones and pictures by Cale Atkinson. So perfect. Let's get into it. Harrison P. Spader, The Personal Space Invader. Harrison P. Spader loved life and wanted to share his love with everyone. Look at all his friends. This is a fun-looking friends. Like them. However, see if I can twist this a little more for Facebook. There we go. However, Harrison's overly joyful ways were causing problems. When Harrison was little, it wasn't a big deal, but the problem grew every year. Look at that. All right. He sat a little too close. I have this problem. My friends will attest to this. Sorry, friends. Shook hands a little too long. He high-fived a little too hard. And hugged a little too much. And hyped. But hugged. I felt like Trump there. Okay. Hugged was the words. So there he's sitting close to his buddy. Oh, and they're shaking hands with the moose. Oh, high-fiving with his friends. And hugging just a little too hard. Oh my. And Harrison definitely did not know the definition of a close talker. Oh, moistly speaking, not good then this day and age. Harrison P. Spader was a personal space invader. Look at that. Look at all that spittle coming out of his mouth. That's not good. Should have face masks on. But I digress. This was before we had to worry about this stuff. Or at least before we knew we had to worry about this stuff. There was a time when Harrison played center field. Kind of. And the other time when he went swimming with his friends. And who could forget the bus ride to the zoo, or story time at the library, or in your living room with Shane Onyou. Look at that. Isn't that great? Yes. His family was used to being smothered in love. They were just that type of family. But after calls from teachers, coaches, and other parents, Harrison's dad, he knew he had to have a talk with Harrison. Look at all the phone calls Dad's getting. Uh-oh. Time to talk. No speaking moistly. Gotta be dry in this dry Calgary air. Harrison, I hear you're having trouble staying in your own space, his dad said. Not really. I don't need much space, Harrison replied. But other people need their space, his dad reasoned. we're going to have to learn all about personal space all over again, and that's okay. When I was your age, my mom taught me something called the space saver, his dad said. It's really simple. Arms out in front, then out real wide. Now place your arms back by your sides. Can we all try that? Can we all try that? Arms out front, then out real wide. Now place your arms back by your side. So that's your space. Yes. All right. See? See, there's Harrison doing it with his dad. Or his dad doing it, I should say. Hi, Cage. Hi, Scarlett. I hope you guys did that space saver thing. Arms out front, out to the side, then back by your side. Everybody should be doing that. That's your space. That's your space. Your bubble. Only Mom can enter that space when she has to. If you can do the space saver without touching anyone, then you have left a good amount of space, his dad told him. Harrison and his dad practiced the space saver over and over and over. By the end of the night, the entire family was doing it. See, look at the whole family doing it there. The next day, Harrison used the space saver every chance he could. He loved it. Harrison even used it when he didn't need to, which he thought was extra clever. However, his teacher and friends weren't impressed. Look, he's doing it in the classroom, in the playground. Look at that. His friends don't look impressed, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll figure this out. After another phone call, Harrison's dad had a few reminders about personal space. I know you like the space saver, but sometimes it might be too crowded for it. Then just put your arms down, be still, and try to stay in your own space, his dad said. Got it, Dad, said Harrison replied. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I think Harrison is adorable. And Harrison really did get it this time. On the bus ride to school and the next day, Harrison wanted to squish in a seat with two of his friends. But Harrison found himself a seat with some space instead. And that was just the beginning. Look at them all riding the bus to school. Harrison's sitting with the bunny. Cool. At his next baseball game, Harrison really did play center field. When he went swimming with his friends, he brought his own tube. See, he's not right on top of his friend. He's actually playing center field, and he's in his own tube, unlike before when he's squished in there with Rabbit. And during story time, he actually sat on his own mat and didn't move it closer to anyone. This took extra restraint for Harrison, but he did it. Look at that, eh? Good job, Harrison. Harrison didn't get it right all of the time. After all, nobody's perfect, and leaving personal space can be tricky, especially when you love life as much as Harrison does. Even hugging his teacher. But remember, always ask for permission before you hug someone. Not everybody likes hugs. But Harrison got it right most of the time, and that was a relief to everyone. Here we go. Everybody's happy. So that's a great book about personal space, which is absolutely fitting for this day and age. So Harrison P. Spader, Personal Space Invader. Really good. Really good book. So that's our first one down. How you guys like the eyes? Yeah? Crazy? Oh, I see some drag family out there. Cordella. And I see Stephanie. Hi, guys. Just in time for our next book, which is from the 5-Minute Girl Power Stories, where yesterday we read about Lilo and Stitch. Today, we are going to read from Toy Story 4, Officer McDimples on Duty. Ooh, sounds fun. Toy Story 4. All right. Woody, Bo, and their friends moved from town to town with the carnival, helping kids and toys along the way. As the carnival set up in a new place, the toys made their way to a nearby playground for some fun. A boy called Duke Kaboom down. A boy raced Duke Kaboom down the slide, while Officer Giggle McDimples, Woody, and Bo and her sheep took a ride on the merry-go-round. Sorry, tongue-tied. It happens. It happens even to the best readers, occasionally. Where this lighting makes me look like I got bags. Well, I do have bags. All right. Amid all the fun, Bo and Giggle noticed a sad taco in the sand beside them. When the merry-go-round slowed, Bo whispered into Giggle's ear, "Once the area is clear, we'll investigate the taco." As soon as the kids left the playground, Ducky and Bunny got up. "That was awful," groaned Taco. "You mean awesome," said Bunny, "right?" "Awful," repeated Taco. Giggle approached the toy. "Officer McDimples, at your service. What seems to be the trouble, sir?" "I don't know," said Taco with a sigh. "Playing with kids is boring." All the toys gasped. Giggle held up her hand, quieting them. Sounds like you're in need of a little detective work." She collected Taco's information and then asked if he remembered ever having fun at the playground. Look at Taco all by himself over there. Taco smiled as he recalled a sunny day. The grass was green, the sky was blue, and the kid grabbed me, chewed me a few times, and chuckled, and chucked me into the grass. It was awesome. "This is a case of mistaken identity," said Giggle. "Taco, you're not meant to play with kids. You're a pet toy." Suddenly, Taco was very excited. Giggle was too. As the head of the pet patrol, pets were her specialty. "So what kind of pet toy is he?" asked Woody. "We're about to find out, Sheriff," said Giggle with a grin. You like the glitter beard? I made it myself. Thank you. Little tiger action. The toys watched as Giggle got to work trying to determine the right pet for Taco. "We have several suspects here," said Giggle. "Dog, cat, parakeet, rabbit, hamster, horse. Any of these pets could be our target." She's all set up. Look at that. True crime investigator there. Got all her points there. After a few moments, she turned to Woody. "We'll need to run a squeaker detection test," said Giggle. Woody threw his lasso around Taco, and at Giggle's command, all the toys worked together to pull it tight. Squeak! I'm not a very good squeaker. The jubilant sound made Taco laugh and laugh. "As I suspected," said Giggle. "You're a dog toy." Bo led everyone to the large map posted outside the playground. Giggle narrowed her eyes. "It's a dangerous mission, but this task force can handle it. Let's go." "Where are we going?" asked Taco. "Dog park," said Giggle. "We're going to find a home for Taco, the pet toy." Just as they were about to discuss transportation, a woman approached with her dogs. The toys dropped to the ground. "Now where's the dog park?" she muttered, looking at the map. The toys watched, hopeful, as the dogs checked out Taco, but neither of them seemed interested. As the woman turned to leave, Bo and Woody quickly helped all the toys onto the bottom of her stroller. Of her dog's. Oh, there's a dog in the stroller. I'll show you that in a second. To the bottom of her dog stroller. They remained hidden as she unknowingly pushed them to the dog park. See, look. I thought there was a baby in the stroller up there, but it looks like a chihuahua. I think it's a chihuahua in the stroller. So it's a dog stroller, not a baby stroller. My bad. When they arrived, the toys crept behind the patch of shrubs and watched the dogs running, sniffing, and playing inside the park. Taco wanted to race through the gates, but Giggle held up her hand. "It's my sworn duty as an officer of the law to make sure that this is done correctly." Bo launched Giggle into the dog park. Giggle's eyes landed on a young pup wagging her tail. She knew she had found the one for Taco. Giggle rolled off the dog's head and used the leaf as a cover to make her way back to the other toys. "White and tan, long tail, southeast corner," announced Giggle. "Yes!" Taco cheered. "How do we get him there?" asked Woody. Get that? Oh. Yup. How do we get him there? They quickly got into position and waited for the perfect moment. "Now!" Giggle said. Bo ran a few steps, dropped Taco, and then kicked him with all her might. Taco soared right over the gate into the park. The dog spotted Taco and began wagging her long tail. She leaped into the air and caught him in her mouth. Then she chewed on him as she ran, squeaking all the way. "What do you have there, Gigi?" said a young girl. "A taco? How cool!" So Taco found a friend. The dog's name is Gigi. "Another pet patrol. Case closed," said Giggle with pride. "And another happy toy," added Bo. The toys watched as the girl and her dog continued having a blast, throwing and fetching Taco. They knew he was enjoying every chasing, chewing, squeaking second, and that made them all feel happy. Yes. Yes, that's a pretty cool one. I like that one. All the girls figured that one out with the help of all their friends. They found Taco a pet to be with, which is so cool. Yeah, I really like that. Officer McDimples and Giggles, they rule. All right, kids. Moving on to our last book. It's definitely a good one. I know I didn't read it that long ago, but hopefully we have forgotten. So this one is called Sugar and Snails by Sarah Tsiang and Sonja Wimmer. It's a great one. What are little boys made of? Frogs and snails and puppy dog tails. What are little girls made of? Sugar and spice and everything nice. Pass me the sugar, would you? It's the sugar. Let's see. A little sugar, a pinch of spice, just like that old rhyme about sweet girls like you. What about sweet boys like me? Hey, what about sweet boys like me? It's about boys and girls. I think it goes like this. What are little boys made of? Pirates and dogs and noisy bullfrogs? What are little girls made of? Dresses and sweets and everything neat? I don't wear dresses, and I don't like frogs. You don't, do you? Okay, so boys are made of cookies and spice and jump roping mice. Yeah, I don't wear dresses either. But I also am not a big fan of frogs. Well, no, that's not true. I like frogs, but in their natural habitat. And girls are made of snails and rocks and butterfly socks. Ooh, I want a pair of butterfly socks. Look at that. Can you see? The butterfly socks? Too cool. And maybe it was, boys are made of lightning and newts. I'm digging his cape. I'm really digging his cape. And rubber rain boots. I do love boots. And girls are made of boats and whales. Those are the coolest rubber boots. I like those. And dinosaur tails. Ho, 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 look at that dinosaur tail. Again, love me a good dinosaur tail. And maybe it was that boys are made of balloons and mutts and fresh chicken butts. See the chicken butt? Well, girls are made of monkeys and dirt and lemon dessert. Or it could be that boys are made of flowers and swings and bumblebee wings. I like his bumblebee costume. And girls are made of tires and slides and crazy fast rides. Woo! Looks like some sort of a homemade luge of some sort. I'm not really sure. She even got a wheel on her chin. Look at that. Like an airplane wheel on her chin. Crazy! Too fun. And some boys are made of marbles and fish and things that squish. And girls can be made of snakeskins and pies and bright fireflies. Dang nabbit, I give up. What the heck are you made of? I think Grandpa's confused. What are you made of? Well, what are little boys made of? Frogs and snails and puppy dog tails. And what are little girls made of? Sugar and spice and everything nice. And reverse those roles. Everybody can be made of whatever they want to be made from. Well, kids, that is it for our books for today. Storytime is finished. Welcome, thank you for coming to the Drag Pit with myself, Shane Onyou, and my glitter tiger beard that I made myself. My see my tail? A tiger onesie that I absolutely love. So we do this 4 times a week. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 p.m. Yes, they were great. It's a great book. Oh, we love you too. I mean, I love you too. Carla and Cage and Scarlett and there are any other kids out there, pop your name up and I'll say hello as well. And tomorrow we have 2 special Easter books, maybe 3. So as well, we'll be doing a, hey, my daddy's on here. I don't know if you're still on there, The Marvelous Moby Dick. If you don't follow them, you should. Tomorrow we'll be doing a craft. So if you're going to join me tomorrow, I'd like you to bring 1 paper plate, if you have it, cotton balls, and a couple of pieces of black or gray yarn, and some of your school glue, if you have some at home. We're going to do a craft tomorrow when we're done our stories. So join me tomorrow. You'll need a paper plate, a handful of cotton balls, some black yarn or brown or gray yarn, maybe 6 little pieces of it. We'll cut it tomorrow or whatever. We'll get our parents to cut it. And we'll be making a craft tomorrow. And if you have some pink glitter or some pink paint, a little bit of that as well. So tomorrow, cotton balls, paper plate, a little bit of glue, some yarn, gray, black, brown, you know, normal neutral colors or neutral tones. And we'll do a craft at the end of story time tomorrow. So tomorrow is Easter Sunday. Please try to avoid any gathering unless it's on Zoom. I think that's a great idea if you have Zoom to do it with your family, and we'll do a craft tomorrow. So join me again tomorrow at 3 for our special Easter edition. And we will do our craft then. So it was really good to see y'all out here. Can't wait to see you again tomorrow. Also, tonight is Shane's Truth or Dare without the dare. So if you have any questions for Shane that you'd like to ask him, hit him up. And maybe throw a couple numbers in there as well. That'll be a little later, probably starting around 10:30. Yeah. Hope to see some of you out there. Thanks for joining me again. Give me a like, a follow on Instagram, Facebook, as well as on YouTube. All the videos will be posted there. You can use them later. So that's it for today. Peace out. Love.